Google KSP key bindings. Get the whole list of key bindings. There are so many little shortcuts built into them, and many of them are not very obvious, and the game doesn't teach them to you. So I would definitely recommend that. Okay, I'm thinking I'm going to give this a test launch. I'm going to give this a test launch right now. So we're going to go into sim mode. John is saying test with a question mark. I have not been testing. Oh my gosh. Run, launch, 680. This is just to test whether this launch is okay. I've not been testing uncrewed vessels of late, but also of late I've had uncrewed vessels kind of fail at launch and never really get out of the atmosphere. So I figure doing a test might be a prudent thing. I think sometimes I've wasted more time failing my launches than I have in what I would have in just testing them. Now, yeah, we got the whole wireframe happening here. It's the KRASH simulator, which allows you to simulate launches, which technically isn't really necessary because you can easily in the stock game just revert your flight back to the VAB and then say I'm going for now. But what I like about the KRASH simulator is that it nicely separates when you're flying, so that if something goes wrong when you're flying, you own it, rather than saying, oh, it'd be tempting just to say that was a test. Now this is definitely a test. And also it's charging me, right? I'm getting close to 3,200 Kerbucks and climbing for the cost of this simulation. Not a lot of money, but enough to make you sort of think about whether you want to do it or not. There are smart parts on this thing. I can kind of see them. The Zed's asking, what about smart parts? They are there. This is a fairly recent booster. It's the really old boosters that don't have smart parts on them. And I keep forgetting to resave those boosters. Okay, we're about to come out to the staging separation for these radio ones. Oh, we just nerfed thrust too. I really don't need a great big giant mainsail on this thing because look, like the thrust is down to... This thrust limiter is already close to 50%, and I have it turned down... Ooh, where'd my wireframes go? Weird. And I have it turned down to almost a third thrust, so... This is way bigger of an engine than I need, but... I don't want to redesign everything. Because I'm lazy. Sun's coming up. Oh, maybe that's why the wireframing changed, just because the sun just came up. All right. And again, I might need more thrust. This is time to apoapsis is... Okay, locking the prograde, but time to apoapsis is shrinking quickly. We should... wonder why that's happening. I can recall having... Time to apoapsis is getting close to 35 seconds and dropping. And if that time to apoapsis gets down to 0, that means we start going down. I want this to start going up. Really should be higher thrust. Maybe I should be playing this thing manually. Oh, this is not going well. This is why we test. I'm going to see what happens. I think it might have not increased the thrust when it lost those radio boosters. I think is what happened. It's still not increasing the thrust. Now something's wrong. The script should automatically be increasing the thrust. And it's not. And we are on our way back to... I think this will fly, but I think the script is not... Maybe it's the asparagus staging the script doesn't like. Let's just test the fairings. That worked. See, I like that bit. But it should have a higher thrust. I can't increase the thrust while the script is... So what I'm going to do is we're going to terminate this. I think the script is not handling the thrust very well, and I don't know why, and I'm not going to debug code while we are... All this is fine, so we're just going to... Whoops. That one. We're going to save this. We're going to launch this for real. And I'm just going to do some of the flight by hand. No passengers. That's for a tourist contract. Keeps going, you want to use this for your tourist contract? No, I don't think so. Okay, we're going to target Minmus. We are 2 hours and 24 minutes away from either the ascending or the descending node. Not surprising because we did just send a craft to Minmus, so the other one is half a day. That's nice. We'll get to the daylight. And this should be the ascending node, which means I should be launching towards the north. But we'll get ourselves close to it, and then we'll cut the time warp. Okay, there we go. And this is us here. Should really change that icon. And you can see we got to launch towards the north to be underneath Minmus's orbit. I always launch a few minutes ahead because it takes a few minutes to get up there. So we're going to launch 6 degrees towards the north because that's the inclination of Minmus's orbit. We'll put ourselves into an 80-kilometer orbit. Let's get ourselves a little closer. So what we're going to do is start this. I'm going to start the launch on the script so that it will get me pointing in the right direction and all that kind of stuff. Because it's really just the upper part, the upper atmosphere thrust that I think it doesn't do very well. And then I'm going to abort the script and I'm going to take over. All right, and this guy's looking good. Yeah, that's a very good. Lead's asking, what about 1.12? I'm still in 1.11. Am I going to update for 1.12? The answer to that question is yes, I certainly plan to. I have just not gotten to doing that just yet. Okay, I am going to, if you just give me a moment, we're going to abort this with Control C. That kills the throttle, so I got to come out here and hit Z again, and we're going to put on SAS and lock that to prograde real quick. So now it's me. I am flying this thing. I am flying it. I'm going to watch my time to apoapsis, and when I get down to around 45 seconds, I'm going to start reducing throttle, but I'm going to be control of the throttle, not the script. So the script has been aborted. It's all on me. Start reducing throttle a little bit. I like to just keep this, once I get around 45 seconds, try and just keep that time to apoapsis about a constant. You can see I did not reduce the throttles. Well, good. Now I probably have to increase throttle because we're just on a single engine now. Well, not too much. And all I have this is locked on prograde, by the way. I'm not doing anything too fancy with that. Hopefully the inclination will sort itself out. There we go. That's pretty good. What's our inclination at? 6.2, so it's a little bit too far towards the south, but that's okay. Or towards the north, sorry. Again, reducing throttle some more. Just keeping that apoapsis just a little bit ahead of me. Much, much better. When will the asteroid hunting begin? Soon. I want to get some more nodes unlocked. That's why this is really just about science. And then once I get some more nodes unlocked, we're going to pick up some asteroid hunting missions. So probably in the next couple of streams, I would say. Maybe not next stream, but the one after that, I would say. Okay, I got to get ready to... Oh, no, this should stage automatically. There we go, and probably increase, no, don't have to increase throttle too much. Now it's on the Poodle engine. Funny, I feel like I'm really low, but I think I should be okay. Maybe I should increase throttle a little bit. I feel like I'm low and rather flamey. But I'm getting a lot of speed, and my periapsis should be getting up high too. So I think what I'm going to do at this point, I'm going to let it just kind of go. I'm not going to keep reducing throttle. Definitely keep that fairing on for a little while longer. It's because it's such a heavy rocket, it doesn't do that good a job. My periapsis is almost out of the atmosphere. My apoapsis is around 50 kilometers. So this is going to be very close to being a circle by the time I cut throttle here. There we go. I'll let it go a little past 80 because I know I'm going to lose some height on the way up. Time warp out of the atmosphere here. I'm going to just hang on to the fairing for just a little while longer now that we're not under thrust. Everything's good. It's going to be the T. I'm almost at orbital velocity already. Yeah, I think I'd be better without that mainsail at the bottom there, but well, it's okay. All right, let's lose the fairing here. Oh, I hit, yeah, the 5. I hit F5 instead of 5. We can put our lights on too. Actually, just put the lights on. Not a lot of lights. Almost out of the atmosphere. There we go, and we can run our circularization script. Circularize at apoapsis. And we got a 41 meter per second burn to finish off this. And we can run our executor. Actually, what I should do is reduce this throttle a lot. This is like a 2-second burn. There we go. And we can deploy antennas and things. Yep, worked. Okay, it's getting ready for the final insertion. Time warp to that. Yeah, I think that central core booster should have been something like not a mainsail, but a skipper engine would have been a much better choice there. The mainsail was too heavy, and as in pointing out, it's not the best for a vacuum engine. But I just wanted to get going. I didn't want to fiddle too much with engines. But that booster would be better with a skipper in the middle rather than a mainsail. That's okay. Oh, are you God blogging me? Oh my gosh. Well, that one wasn't my fault. And there's really not much I can do. This thing had a ton of ignitions on it. I even upgraded the engine, but there's always the chances of malfunctions. I am jinxed. I am jinxed with this thing. And my periapsis is at 38 kilometers, which is still healthily into the atmosphere. Well, I guess we get to watch some explosions. There's really not much. A Kerbal could fix this, but there's no way to get a Kerbal up here in time. Oh my gosh. Here. Wow. That did not go well. That's just the roll of the dice thing. There was nothing I could have done to prevent that. Kerbalism just every once in a while says, we're going to have an engine refuse to light. And that's what you get. So I got this now at full time warp. And it is at orbital velocity. So this should be some explosions. Oh, RCS! Oh, shoot! Oh my gosh, Zed. You are 100% right, but there's no way I can save it now. Zed says in the chat, isn't RCS enough to save it? And yep. There was RCS aboard. I probably could have gotten an orbit and then sent a Kerbal up and fixed this thing. Shoot! I abandoned this too quick, but there's not much to do about it now. Sorry about that. I do not think on the fly very well. Thinking, is that script still running? Is it? No. Shoot. Now we'll get a light show. Oh, RCS could have done it. It was so close to an orbit, I'm sure I could have pushed it up with just the RCS thrusters. Not thinking on the fly. Now, hopefully this won't fall on no one's house. Alright, that engine's getting plenty hot. But I suspect, I don't know. Nope. I don't think anything's going to blow off. That is crazy. I thought I'd get some explosions with this thing. Well, I will when it hits the ground, but... oh dear. Oh, that was disappointing. Even the explosion was disappointing. Okay. Yeah, we know. Okay, back to the Space Center we're going to go. Because I'm agreeing with what's been coming up in the chat that maybe the better plan, not that this contributed to this failure, but maybe the better plan is to put, like I got a mainsail engine and replace it with, should I bother? I think it makes more sense to put a skipper. Where are the skipper engines? Why am I? There's the skipper. You know what? No, I'm not going to bother. Let's just go. Launch. Let's just go. I could build it. Yeah, I don't care. That's not the reason this failed. Okay. Again, targeting Minmus. We've got to go the 3 hours to our next launch window. And this time we'll be going to the south. There we go. Run our launch. Going 6 degrees to the south. Okay. And you know what? I think this time I won't reduce the thrust as much as I did last time. Not that I don't think the launch went fine. In fact, I think that was a very efficient launch. But I just want to get this over with quicker. I think it was a very efficient launch, but it took a long time to get to orbit, and then only to fail right at the end. So I'm gonna keep the thrust up a little higher this time and get up there quicker. That is the plan. But of course, we're still gonna let the script deal with the first part of this, get us kind of pointing in the right direction. Because it does a good job of that. It's just not handling the thrust part very well. Yeah, the launch was very efficient and very deficient at the same time. Very efficient launch right to the point where it crashed into the surface. Okay, I think I'm going to abort this. Go to here. Z. Whoa, shoot! Oh, for gosh sakes, I should have locked the program first. Oh, I got another engine failure! Oh, for goodness sakes! I know why that happened. Because these guys only have a single ignition, and when I cut... Oh my gosh! And the test went so well. I got an engine failure on that radio. See that? Oh, for gosh sakes. Ah! Oh my god. Now this is getting frustrating. This is turning into a very annoying pattern. Wow, that was a loud splash. The problem with the mainsails is they're not really designed to be ignited and then reignited. You can see here they have only one ignition. What I think I shall do... yeah. Because this is asking for I'm going to take this out. We're going to put a skipper in the middle. Well, I think that should be enough thrust on the middle part. And we're going to up the thrust here now because we have to. So it's going to go through those quicker. There. And we can take out more of this fuel. All right, okay. Again, just play a little bit with a thrust. There. You know what? I don't think that is enough. I'm going to go back to the mainsail again. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to up the quality of that middle motor. Engine standard to high. Put the fuel back that I took out just now. Good. And sorry, just got to put this thrust limiter back to probably around where it was. Yeah, the skipper's not quite... Oh shoot, this is way too high now. Should be just control Zing all this. More thrust there. There. That's feeling better. I'm going to put more thrust on. I think part of the issue is there's too little thrust in that bottom end. Oh, all these engines should be on at the same time. The staging's wrong. Oh, I'm just introducing more and more things to go wrong. There. Sorry, I got to check the staging. The staging was wrong with that engine switch. There. There. 5029. It's all there. 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 That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. I really want to get this done. Yeah. Saving. All right, launching. Hopefully for the last time. To be honest, I'm putting Kerbalism to deal with those kind of things. So if I'm not going to live with engine failures, I could disable that feature in Kerbalism easy enough. That kind of defeats the whole purpose of this, I think. All right. This is the one. This is the one. I mean it this time. Minmus, I think we're close. We're going to launch. I think we're close enough to doing it. Launch. Did I go to the south? Ah! Going to Minmus, launching to the south. Yes. I think we're close enough to our launch window because of that one didn't go very far. -6, 80. Okay, this is it. This is it. This is the one. Come on. And I upped the thrust on this core stage. So there's less thrust now on these ones and more thrust on this one. And I think that will actually help. Maybe the script will do a better job now. Don't forget you have RCS. Yes, if I get that fail right at the top end, that was a weird fail because although these engines at the bottom don't have many ignitions, that Poodle engine, it has 26 ignitions, so that was a very unlikely thing to have happened to have that Poodle engine fail. It's designed as an orbital engine. It should be more reliable than that. That was just flat out bad luck. All right, I'm going to let the script take over for longer now. I'm going to at least let these radial boosters go before I relight, or if I take over from the script, so that I don't have to worry about at least them failing. But I'm going to keep a very close eye on my time to apoapsis, get ready to take control if it needs to happen. But maybe now that this has got more thrust in the middle, maybe it'll do a better job. Okay, I think it knocks back the thrust at... Well, I think I'm going to lose my radial boosters first. That's okay. Nope, there goes the thrust limiter. There goes the radial boosters. And I'm watching that time to apoapsis, and I'm going to, if it gets close to 45 seconds, which I think is likely, I'm going to take control. I think it actually, yeah, I'm going to take control. Assuming control. So, Control C, Z, T, lock to prograde. Now reduce throttle. All right. I'm wondering if what's messing up the script. I'm just thinking about how I'm the one that wrote the script, so I'm just thinking about what might be messing it up. Is how close the throttle reducing and that stage separation are together. And there is a sort of 1 second delay in the script between. It might be missing to re-increase the throttle after it stages those radial boosters. It feels like it's not doing that. All right. Back in the saddle. Back in the saddle again. This is far, far less flamey, too. Much, much, much more normal looking. All right. I'm just going to let this ride. Oh, yeah, that's good. That's supposed to happen. We got to increase the throttle a bit because we're on that weaker Poodle engine. And I think I'm going to release the fairing. Nicey nice. And yep, we're just going to let this go. Hopefully we won't come back and hit our nose cone, but I don't think so. The nose cone should go below us. Right? Right? Oh, that nose cone's still getting away on us. All right. 60 kilometers on the apoapsis. I'm just letting this go right now. Oh, still going to be a nice insertion. Okay. Just cracked 80 kilometers. Let's put the lights on. Time warp out of the atmosphere. What's our inclination at? 6 degrees on to button. Can't complain about that. Sun's coming up. I got me a good feeling. I actually have to give a little bit more throttle. Just a little bit still too low. There. But again, it's going to be a very, very tiny final insertion. Periapsis is at 35 kilometers. This time, if the engine fails, I'll remember. I'll remember I got RCS, but it shouldn't. Shouldn't fail. Shouldn't have failed last time, frankly. Yeah, I'll toggle that antenna in a second. There we go. So we're going to run circularization at apoapsis. There we go. We will run. Again, we're going to lower this thrust limiter. Run that maneuver executor. And we'll hit 0 to toggle the antenna. There goes the antenna. 39 meter per second burn to finish this all off, so barely anything. All right, just about a minute away from the burn, and then oh, I should have just time warped to the burn. Why did I do that manually? I don't know. Sometimes I don't know why I do things. Well, thank you. Is it Navag? Can I say that? Who says he's just getting back into KSP again? I wish you luck, and I hope that you can enjoy it even a tiny fraction as much as I do. All right, the engine lit. How about that? Okay, we are in an orbit. I'm calling it. Let's run that align. And let's get ourselves to Minmus. Okay, this is looking much, much, much more promising. Turn that off. Actually, let's keep the stations on. That's the station around Kerbin because I'm going to switch. Oh no, let's turn them. No, keep it on because we got to get to Minmus station. Where is Minmus, by the way? I'm looking all around the wrong way. There we go. Okay. Focusing our view on Minmus. And maybe a little bit more. There we go. Now, of course, what we got to do is we have to rendezvous with the station. So there's the station. I'm going to switch it to that as our target. So set that as a target. And let's see what we're like coming in. We might be all right. We might not be. So we got a 38 degree inclination difference. I can wait for us to go around Kerbin a few more times and bring that angle down, but I'm really flat out too lazy. The station's coming around towards the south here as we come in this way, so we are on the side we want to be on. I'm inclined just to kind of go with it right now. We'll have to make some sort of a tiny little change here. Honestly, that's looking pretty good. We'll have to make about a 39 degree plane change. But I'm perfectly cool with that. This thing has extra fuel, 1,810 meters per second, which is way over the budget. Again, I think that was a pretty efficient launch. Thrust there. Run that. Oh, that's right. Do that. Why are you being this way? Doesn't want me to end this. Okay, we'll have to stuck in some sort of loop. My programming skills, I'll be honest, leave a bit be desired. Okay, let's get to this burn. There are all kinds of KOS scripts out there too for people to download. I just want to use my own because I'm a masochist, I think. Run that executor. Why are you like this? There. I love that my inclination has got very... Yeah. If anything, we just launched a little late because of all of our shenanigans. But hopefully those shenanigans are now in the past. Time warp a little bit closer. Am I sure about that orbital direction, says Sajad? Am I saying that right? Well, now that you mention it, I will check that again on that orbital direction. I think I got the I think I got the orbital direction right because the inclination difference was only 39 degrees. But I will check it again because that's the last thing you want to come in on the orbital direction wrong and have to like basically do a 180. That's always bad. I'm hoping all the rest of this, though, is going to be uneventful.